Welcome to the podcast of disaster. I'm your host, JCR1216, and joining me are my co-hosts.
Hello, I'm Jordan.
NLP Matrix here once more.
Hello. And we have a very interesting and, depending on who you are, an exciting episode to talk about today. Well, I mean, issue when I talk about episode. TV is on my mind right now. Well, what was your guys' initial thoughts before reading 79? The fact that we finally got to Whisper and Mimic's big fight.
I have no thoughts whatsoever.
Skibidi.
Ah. Well, I had a lot of thoughts before I read the comic because it was like, oh my god, like this is it. This is a storyline that started in the 2010s, by the way. This storyline is 6 years old, and that makes me feel old. The fact that this storyline started when I was 12. Yeah, Tangle and Whisper are 6 years old. Now you're 47 normal. You're welcome.
Great. Just what I need.
Yay.
Reminder of
And Lord M is
passing
105. Yes.
Yup.
The first Tangle and the Tangle and Whisper miniseries came out 6 years ago. That's when we got introduced to a lot of Whisper's backstory. And we might honestly do a recap, depending on what you guys think about it. Tell us in the comments below if you would like to see a Tangle and Whisper miniseries retrospective. But it's just shocking to me that we're finally here, that we finally get to see the climactic finish, depending on who you are, on how this ended. I used a lot of big boy words here. Okay, so we open up in probably one of the best designed set pieces in IDW Sonic. We open up in the Rainbow Ravine.
I forgot that was that name of that base.
Yeah. They should have made it a Rainbow Road and then had to fight Nintendo in court, but they were cowards. So we open up with Mimic trying to disguise himself as Cream. What were your guys' thoughts on that? Because I thought it was really creepy.
He's stupid.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
why would Cream get that type of fucking drink?
not only that,
Yeah,
why
nothing
do you
to try.
pick Cream? Yeah. Also, why do
No,
you
wait,
pick
no.
Cream of all people, knowing fully well
Then
that?
again, Cream can now drive if once Sonic Racing Crossworlds comes out. Who knows? I don't know. Drinking. Underage drinking. Bad. Also, yeah, he gone goofed.
Yeah. I don't know why. If I was Cream, if I was Mimic as Cream, which is a weird thing to say, I would have made cheese like on my hand like Funtime Freddy. The idea of that is like hilarious. It's just like, oh yeah, see, it's there. Like Mimic could have tried to make it like a puppet, but that's probably way too much talented acting for Mimic because he's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Is he stupid?
Is he stupid?
It's like that.
Hey, cheese, go get him!
Nice reference. Oh yeah, Egg. With the biggest thing that surprised, like the biggest jump scare I got was Mimic's face just popping into Cream's body. That was like, that was a very. If there's one thing I will really praise about this issue, it's the artwork in spurts are like really, really, really good.
Yeah.
But man,
When they talking, the artwork do make you feel like it's just them and nobody else cares, nobody else matters, just them. It's kind of
I like the fact that Whisper just says "Here I am" in response to "Here you are."
Here I am, boy. She was literally taunting him, like, come on, throw hands now.
I do wonder what was Whisper's cue to, now we're gonna jumping over to the next point. What was Whisper's cue to, was it the smile? Was that did Silver just wait on the sideline and then just saw the smile? And like, okay, yep, time to do some TK.
Time to kill.
Yep.
Telepathically kill. That's what TK stands
I wonder.
for.
Yep. I do wonder if this is what they meant by like planning out like seeing Mimic, but we'll get to that later. But Mimic freaking out because he's outnumbered is funny.
I mean, I will figure out too if I have
I'm
an
the only
evil
one that I
sidekick.
can count on is a really good line.
What?
I'm the only one that you can count. I'm the only one I can count on is a really good line from Mimic.
Yeah, I mean, he's a solo player, so. And well, we all know
I don't
how
like the
that
fact
ended up.
that Silver's just inaccurate, like to start out the comic. Like I don't know why Silver is just shaky, like with his TK. I understand like this is a big deal, but it's like we've seen Silver focused and locked in since the Metal Virus, so I don't understand why, like he's panicking, if that makes sense.
Probably because there is too many people. Maybe it's that because he doesn't want to risk, hurting civilians.
And now we jump over to Tangle's queue. I do like the fact that when Tangle turns into Barry, which was like the biggest surprise I've ever seen, that that Tangle does compliment Barry's jacket.
It's nasty jacket.
Yeah,
That is a good
to
one.
me that was really cute. Start a crack ship with
Barry.
Tangle and Barry now.
Barry is great. No one can take that away
Yeah.
from Barry.
Yeah,
They-
Barry. Yeah, they are great.
Is it too bad to say that I did not play Sonic, the mother of Sonic, so I barely care about Barry? Even though I already have the game, but
Yes,
I haven't played it.
you will now be in jail for your crimes against Bear Manamy.
Alright, I will play the game in the stream someday. Alright, but I don't want to be alone. I need a voice actor beside me.
I do like the art direction in this issue because that the split panel where we get to see the top half and bottom halves of both Whisper and Mimic Barry was really cool.
Or Mimic.
If there's one, yeah, if there's one thing I will consistently praise about this comic, it is the art direction.
Adam Blythe Thomas, everyone.
Yep.
He cooked.
And then Whisper uses the greeny thingy, the greeny
green cover.
wispy, and
The
then
cover.
Silver finally locks in and captures Mimic briefly before Mimic uses another wisp, which is
Use the
insane
core.
to me. That yeah, he used the core of the Wispin, right? He used the core of the Wispin.
No, it's the core of the that he got for Star Knight.
Remember?
Ah,
The
Do you
core.
remember?
my
I
God, that was
forgot.
such a long time ago.
Totally didn't forget. He totally had that core from the Bad Guy series.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, everyone
What?
read that.
Yeah, I forgot about the Bad Guys series, man. I thought that was just like a different Wisp or something, but no, that's just that. There's been so many mini side arcs. There's a lot of really good Easter eggs in this issue too, so I'll say that because I completely forgot about the Bad Guys issues even existing. Then we see Tangle go down in a hunt down Mimic, which was kind of insane.
Yeah,
What,
she beat them up. I love when you know shit is real when he suddenly goes black and white. Yeah, we saw this
That's
on
like I think that's just like a staple of Adam's artwork.
yeah
When he's like doing fighting, it just shows that a character's like extremely locked in.
yeah we saw that in the Whisper versus Surge fight when Whisper start trying to stab her and Surge start shadow boxing dodging the attacks. And now we see it again here with Tangle and Mimic.
I do like the fact that we do get to see Tangle lock in and actually throw hands. It's been a minute since Tangle's thrown hands.
Let Tangle fight. Let her be angry.
Yes. Just don't let her murder or be okay with murder. Then then Mimic turns into whatever the hell that was.
Uh,
Pineapple looking thing.
I'm gonna go. Let's go with Jeffrey. Let's go
I
with
think that's
Jeffrey.
a Zeddy. I think it's a combinations of all the Zeddies.
Are you sure?
Like just like it looks like having Zavic's horns out of
I
the
did
middle
not-
of it.
I did not get a good look at
It
this,
looks.
to be honest.
I'll put it. Hold on one sec. Like it looks like
Wait,
it looks
this
so-
an enemy? Isn't this an enemy of Sonic Colors? I'm tripping.
I don't see that.
it looks like a combination of all the Zeddies.
It does remind me.
And then Tangled Trip.
Yeah, Tangled Trip.
Yeah. And then Silver finally locks in with his TK and just captures Tangle the perfect way. And then Whisper goes in. Wasn't it Mimic's Wisp when they were the original Diamond Cutters, the cube?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. I do find it poetic that she does use the cube first to bop him. Then we just get Whisper just shooting at Mimic.
Yeah. She basically do a DMC3 Dante there. I don't know. Some old people will remember that move. So.
I do like the fact that it does look like Whisper is gonna go in for Whisper was gonna shoot him.
Yeah, 100%.
Tangle's gonna try to stop him, and then Mimic stabs the core. It kind of looks like he's stabbing himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, "Nah, you're not getting this. I do it myself."
What? I'm going down on my own terms, man.
Boom.
Which I do
Oh,
think
wait.
is a nice way for him to go out.
Cyanide pellet. Whatever is a PG-friendly way of doing it.
Jesus.
You are not getting me in June.
The Heisenberg way.
Yeah, he said you're not getting me in June.
And Tangle decides to have Silver drop it. I don't understand why Silver went through it. I understand like to save Whisper, but it's like there's rocks everywhere.
Yeah,
And then Silver walks in again, and then like it's so weird to me that Silver starts out just being flunky. This is a much more high stakes situation than it was earlier in the issue. If that makes sense.
maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, Silver did yet
Yeah.
goes just to save the civilians from the falling rocks. So
Yeah, so he saves the civilians from the flying rocks. Tangle gets a hold of the Wispin, and then
the Hover with activates.
activates the. Tangle becomes Mary Poppins for a hot second.
I'm Mary Poppins, yo.
Oh, look how she just calls Green Hover sweetie. That's adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in the Whisper and Tangle series, we did see the Wisp usually just hugging Tangle and just chilling with her mostly than Whisper. I don't know if you
But
guys
it looks
remember
like
that panel.
so. Yeah, so it does look like Mimic did fall into the water.
Yeah, he fall into the water, but like I said, he's not dead. Well, I mean, he could, but let's be
We'll talk
honest.
about that later. We'll talk about that towards the later part of it.
Yeah.
It was wholesome to see Whisper smile and say that it's finally over, and then calling out for the original Diamond Cutters, and then giving all the Wisps a hug.
Yeah.
It was so adorable, and I love the way Adam Drew was smiling. Like, it definitely is anime-esque looking.
Yeah, it does wrap it up really well.
Also, Whisper started keeps her eyes open for the rest. For the rest of the issue.
Yeah, Whisper keeps her eyes open because I'm pretty sure
No.
she no longer has to squint to try to make out Mimic.
No longer no more drama.
Until the
Right.
next arc. Who knows?
Yep.
Oh, unless he come back.
Comes back.
And then they go home, which I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure is just like Tangle's house in Spiral Hill.
Yeah.
They're roommates.
Oh, and they were roommates.
That's,
Remember.
since the Restoration HQ got burned up in a burning blaze like the Hindenburg.
Yeah.
Whatever
Remember-
hell
You
that
said
makes
Burning Blaze. I just thought about Blaze the Cat.
everything. Fire,
They go to the Soul Empire and live with Blaze in a polygamy act. Love. I think that's where it go, right? Polygamy.
Yeah. I do like the fact that towards the end we do get it happens in every issue obviously we do get the 1-page teaser for the next issue, which will be issue 80,
Yeah.
the first Zero collection since we started the podcast. Something dark in the jungle.
It looks like an egg robot. Who knows?
Well, that was issue 79.
Yeah.
Overall, what were you guys' thoughts on it? I have a lot to say, so I'll let you two go first.
All right. Normal. I mean, Matrix. You first.
Got no thoughts. I just let me tell you. Don't ask me for writing advice.
All right.
Well, it's not writing advice wise, but did you like the issue?
Say it's nice. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. Lord M. What were your thoughts on it?
Well, I like the issue. It just feels that this issue felt rushed. They wanted to make like at least 2 issues, because this is a big thing that everyone was waiting. So it kind of feels rushed in some parts. Like they wanted to like Sega or I don't know who's in charge to tell them to wrap things up fast to the writers. But it does feel like they wanted to make it more than 1 issue. Second, Whisper was about to kill Mimic. He was about to pull the trigger, and she kind of pulled it, but she did not went through it because in the next panel, when Mimic pulls out the knife, there is no charging shot. So in the end, she did not kill Mimic. It was Mimic himself. And third, Mimic. I say Mimic is gonna come back and he's alive because I've been looking at this over and over, and honestly, I call me crazy, but I do see like a small silhouette of an octopus like moving away. Call me crazy, but I kinda see that, and I feel that Mimic's gonna come back one more time, and then dead for real. But overall, I like this. Yeah, oh, I mean he's an octopus, so he fall into the water, so probably he's chilling down there. Other thing, the Wispangle moment. I can already see the people going, yeah, Wispangle. So then the teaser for the next issue that is the Rainforest, a location of Sonic Heroes. If people still remember that awesome game, which by the way is one of my favorites. And the teaser of the next characters that are gonna show up, Shadow and Rouge, which, I mean, okay, I might skip it. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, overall I did like this issue. I just wish that it was more to it.
Okay, am I allowed to go nuts?
Yes, go
Yes.
crazy, baby.
Okay, I have a lot to say about this issue. For starters, I'm gonna get the good stuff out of the way. Seeing Tangle fight Mimic was fantastic. Seeing Tangle step up for Whisper as a friend was awesome. Seeing Silver, even though he was really finicky at the beginning, do stuff at the end was nice. And as always, Adam's art style and like art direction was phenomenal for this issue. But man, oh my god, man, the middle of the arc, it just felt rushed, man. Like I understand that they have a limited amount of time with these comics, but there was like so many delays. Like this was the most typed up issue that I would say, besides like the ending of the Metal Virus.
Yep.
Would you two agree with me with that? Like this was
I
the
think
most anticipated IDW issue since the ending of the Metal Virus.
I would
I
say
have no more.
yes.
I will abstain from this.
Yeah. But like Barry was cool, but it was like, come on, man. It's like you're telling me that Tangle switches up her morals completely. And goes from, oh yeah, murder is not good. We're like, guys, like, don't do it. Don't try to kill Mimic. And then we just see Silver and Whisper at the end of 76 go like, by any means necessary. He's like, absolutely. So it's like, what was the point of that scene? Like, what was the point of teasing Surge, Kit, and Mimic together as a team? But not, unless he comes back, and like that's not happening. Seeing just a full like 180. Yeah, Mimic took him out himself, but it's like you're telling me that Tangle, who did have a bird's eye view, that's why she was screaming to go down there to get him, because Whisper was making Mimic Swiss cheese, like he was shooting him.
Mm-hmm.
Whisper was going in for the final blow before Mimic used the last of his strength to do it. And then Tangle was like, okay, yeah, it's actually fine to do murder actually. Yeah, she was probably more concerned about Whisper's health, but it's like Mimic falls into the water. I think he's gonna be fine, especially with that panel where it's just the water by itself. He's probably fine. And if that's the case, that might be the biggest cop out in the history of like at least what's like. I'm gonna compare this a lot to like Starline, because Mimic and Starline are the two biggest original IDW villains. Starline's death was fantastic. No, like 10 out of 10. You know that he's dead.
Mm.
But with this Mimic death, or death, if, with quotation marks, if you don't think it's him actually dying, it's like, okay, Mimic takes himself out, which is a cool thing, but it's like Tangle just completely at least after Starline dies, we see the after effects it has on Surgeon Kit, and hopefully we get to, like, I don't like the fact that they go all happy and peppy after beating up Mimic. I understand why Whisper's extremely happy about it. Everyone has a different response to trauma, but with the way that this was like hyped up forever, like overall, is it a good issue? But you have to consider the fact that we've been waiting to the ending of this storyline for 6 years. This storyline is 72 months old. This arc is starting second grade. Oh, first grade. My bad. And like, okay, it was cool that Whisper being happy is awesome. But if it's just gonna be brief, with the way that I'm not the biggest fan of the way this issue is written, obviously. But knowing Ian, he likes to leave hints and context clues in his writing. There has to be a reason for that other panel, where it's just the water by itself.
Yeah, but I still think
So,
right over there is like Ian's danger is not over. But
but this just completely undoes the entire Tangle and Whisper miniseries, where we see Tangle like have Sonic's ideals of like, hey, no killing. Hey, we shouldn't try to go for the kill. Whisper was going for the kill. Maybe the by any means necessary was Silver holding Tangle in the air while Whisper finishes the job.
yeah, but
But it's like, yeah, you say what you want. You want to say, Lord M?
yeah, but I do see that Silver was going to hold Tangle and yet Whisper do that her thing, but since Mimic made the explosion, he has to let her go. So probably that was their initial idea. Just the look Whisper gave in the previous issues, it was to hold back Tangle.
Maybe they didn't think that the explosion. That's why, like, that happened.
Mm.
But it's like, man, I do wonder, like, Obviously, Silver could have probably gotten maybe it was like too difficult of a pull, but I'm pretty sure Silver could have gotten Whisper. And man,
Yeah,
it's
but
just that ending.
if
Like
it,
posted of that, it's done, it's finally done. But just man, I'm just not the biggest fan of just the fact that they're like, okay, yeah, let's just all go home. Like it's over. Like this should have had a little bit more of an impact and not just been glossed over and being peppy. If that makes sense. It's like it's good that we got a happy ending. Like obviously a happy ending is good. Like I just hate the way that they approach the happy ending. It's just but overall, I do think I was a little bit more salty yesterday when I read it because it was like, oh my god. Like that. But looking back on it, it's not as bad as I originally thought upon like reread. But I would say that this is like a 5 or 6 out of 10.
I would say
I do
8
think
out of 10.
the hype does wait. The hype to me does. I'm happy that you were able to enjoy it. If you enjoy this issue, like that's awesome. To me, like man, I would have rather them go in a different direction with the way that this ended. But I will say, I don't like this was the reason why I'm weighing this so low is because I wanted this to be like this was like the most hyped up issue for me for like longest. I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna have like I'm glad the characters that they chose. I would have been fine if they had Tangle with the OG Diamond Cutters in this mission. But I'm glad it was Silver and Tangle because those are the two most important characters to Whisper. But man, I wish that ending was done a little bit better. So personally, I wish that it was handled a little bit better. But I wouldn't say I'm happy with, but I would say that I'm fine with the way that it ended. I am looking forward to issue 80 though because that looks awesome. It's always fun to see the Sonic and Chaotix interact. So, what are your guys' predictions for issue 80 before we end this episode?
Shadow Dark Knight. I think they're going to show us probably what they tease at the end of the Riders arc, the Emerald. So
I feel like that's going to be more like what the Jester issue for 81 is going to be. Normal, what are your predictions for 80?
I suck at predictions.
hey, you did predict the Mimic part, so
Yeah, that was just a guess. Not even, more like, I don't know, man. It's something I can more easily have a hunch on than something that's new and upcoming. Like new.
So, yeah. Well, I think 80 is going to be a very interesting issue. Seeing seeing Team Dark and Team Chaotix and Sonic in the same thing. I don't think that's happened since. Well, like in like we're going to see them like fully together for like the first time since like Sonic Heroes, which is going to be kind of cool. Well, speaking of things that are kind of cool, that will cool off this episode of the Podcast of Disaster. If you liked it, please let us know by liking and subscribing. Join the Discord. It's in the link in the channel banner. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of the Podcast of Disaster, and we will see you next time. Always remember to be good to yourselves, others, and mothers, and see you on the next episode.
bye.
Say bye,
See ya.
everybody.